there is something that comes with that, right? And something that comes with that is I realized that the first game, which is Resident Evil Zero, was too hard for me, so I put in easy mode. The reason I said that is because I'm going to spend 2 months playing those games, right? Why 2 months? Well, we had the books, we had the movies. I'm going to use the books as an excuse to do some voice acting or try voice acting for the first time. And it's complex. It's really complex because um, how am I supposed to say this? Um, there's no, I had a fight with a friend right now, and I'm thinking about that also. Um, it's the movies, the book, be a lot, right? Um, and this is Booktober, so with only Resident Evil, I got more than a month of content, right? But then I have to be honest: is Resident Evil my favorite horror thing? I gotta be honest, I don't know because I haven't seen the movies, I haven't read the book. Right now, I could easily say my favorite um, horror, and we're going way back. This is kind of the intro to Spooktober 2025. Um, this is my intro. This is the important video that I'm fucking up. Um, my favorite series is probably Walking Dead. Walking Dead has been phenomenal for me because it came out when I was end of high school, 2011, right? And I'm going to the apartment. In the apartment, there's nothing to do, so I listen to podcasts, which is describing Walking Dead because I can't watch Walking Dead because I'm broke. So I'm watching podcasts instead that recap The Walking Dead. So this is how bad it is, right? And then I was so in love with the show because basically as a kid, I'm very afraid of scary stuff. I'm very, very, very afraid. I think the first horror movie that I watched, which I swear, this is a crazy story. This is my intro to Spooktober. There's one that's repeated stuff you're gonna know already, but fuck it. So, back in the days, I'm in the apartment and I'm very broke. I work at a job, but it's part time, right? So I every time that I work, I pick up a DVD, one DVD from the DVD baskets, and they're $5 a DVD. And I picked up Curse of Chucky, Curse of Chucky. And why is that important? I said it twice, right? Because I have never watched a horror movie, and I'm looking at the DVD, and I'm like, are you stupid? Why did you buy that? You're not gonna watch it. So, with Curse of Chucky, I ended up having a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. And then Curse of Chucky, I ended up watching Child Play, which is amazing. I become obsessed with Child Play. I become obsessed with Child Play. I become obsessed with well, the Curse of Chucky, the Seed of Chucky, and the Bride of Chucky. But more for the Curse. The Curse was my favorite movie of all of them. No, that's not true. My favorite movie is Child Play number 2. It's the funniest. Yeah, yeah. So we started watching Child Play, right? But this is after Walking Dead. Walking Dead, we watched a couple of seasons and then we gave up. Now here's the craziest part. Back in that day, right? I watched Curse of Chucky and I'm like, you know what? Let's restart Walking Dead. I'm still broke. Now there's something that happened which is amazing. The rule of YouTube changed. They're much more strict about they're much stricter about the copyright strike and the copyright infringement. So you don't get to see the series anymore. So I'm like, okay, well, what can I watch? And then I discovered PDF. Back in the days, I have two jobs. I have a Dollarama job, which is 4 hours. In the morning, I have a second job, which is at it's at 2 o'clock. It's 8 hours. So I work from 3 to 11. I go to bed. I wake up at 6 o'clock to go to work at 7 o'clock. I come back and I'm just sleeping in the bus and I'm sleeping between jobs. Now here's a cool part with this one. Let's go to PDF and I read The Walking Dead. Now I'm a dumbass. Why? Because I download the stuff on a Friday. I still have it like yesterday. And I read The Walking Dead. And this is the craziest thing. Because this is my first moment of this is my very first moment of whatchamacallit, of a horror, right? Because Chucky is not horror. I thought it was horror, but it wasn't. So I'm reading it because it's a Friday and I'm bored. And this is the classic thing where you read the book, you watch a movie that's scary, and you're in a position where you're like, holy shit, I don't know how I'm gonna sleep. And you don't sleep. So what you do is you're bored, so you keep reading, which is insane. I did sleep for one day and we read at that time The Walking Dead, where it was It was just before Alexandria. It was just before. It was at the end of the prison. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember seeing Urshel head cut off. Yeah. Scary things, bro. Scary things. What am I saying? I don't even know. So we start looking for Walking Dead, and then again with the podcast and shit like that, right? And then we fast forward because The Walking Dead became something that I love. It became something that I really enjoyed. I was reading the PDF every single year, which is great. I was watching the movie. It ends up, and this is a crazy story. I end up in the pandemic. Um, in the pandemic, I'm getting more money from the government than I'm making at work, and I got less bill because I'm not going out. So I buy Wi-Fi, which means that I get to watch YouTube. And at work, I love my place. I love the place that I work, but it's also a lot of Romanian. They speak Romanian. If they want me to speak, if they want to speak French with me, they speak French. You speak English. If we're talking to two of us, or the three of us, or the four of us, it's French. But between them, it's Romanian, and I don't want to interrupt, right? So we started listening to a lot of audiobook. And on YouTube, there's a lot of audiobook, right? There's 28 seconds later, there's 28 days later, there's 2 weeks after, there's a survivor, there's a ton of books. We even read the novel of Walking Dead. And then I fall upon this, look at this video, and it's Adrian Ring. Now, Adrian Ring, I fell completely in love. Why? Well, because you have Adrian Ring, you have, this is how insane it is. I'm going to show you something. And if I wasn't going to show you,